wish I would have got you when you had the yellow on because that was hilarious. It
I
was
don't
gonna be
know
funny.
because you know what it reminded me of. It
I
was.
was. I was go go.
It reminded me of the Wizard of Oz.
I was gonna make some jokes this broadcast with that yellow. That was hilarious. It was like something out of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Yeah.
But so how did you get rid of it?
I turned the light off overhead. I've got those Edison bulbs over my head in my chandelier thing that I have up here.
So I walked you through that, didn't I?
You totally walked me through. Can I tell you
You could
something? Are
could
we
you put it?
alive?
Yes, we are. Could you put it on one more time so that people can see how yellow you were, please?
Oh my God, you're so
That's
obnoxious.
so funny.
All right.
One more time.
Is it? I don't know if it's going to change now on this. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's not terrible, but it was.
But at the beginning, it was like ridiculously yellow. Okay, turn it off. Turn it off.
All right.
It wasn't as yellow as the first time, but okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, there it is. There, go sit down. Sit down. Sit down. No, 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 no. Sit down. Sit down.
You're so obnoxious. This,
Look.
it's
Oh my
yellow?
God. I don't know what it was. Something in it made it yellow. Okay, never mind. It was yellow. When you got up, like stand up right now. Stand up right now. I'll tell you it's yellow. Right
All
now, right there.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not yellow now.
Okay, never mind. Forget it.
Okay, I need to look this up because before I make an accusation concerning a crime, I want to make sure I have the right Florida statute number to tell you. Did you see the email I sent you?
I have to read it. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and can you read it?
The issue, no, I'm going to find the Florida statute. I know you're not allowed to use the Florida state seal in a political advertisement.
Okay, read the statute. Let me look it up so that I can read the statute.
Well, I'm going to find it. I don't have the statute. That's what I'm saying to you. I got to find the statute. Florida. I think the last time I looked at this, it was a misdemeanor. Florida state seal. Political advertisement. Oh, is this it? Let's see. Let me see if this is it. Sorry, I'm going to read.
Okay, so we're doing these. And I just want to tell you that I am pooped. So
What did you do today?
I'm just work and I'm pooped. Like I do every day. Pooped. I'm pooped. So you're gonna have to carry this today. So go ahead. And we didn't even have this on the agenda. So you came at me from left field, out of left field with this whole situation. But so if you want to go ahead and
I
discuss
want
it,
to find it first before I talk about it.
okay. And you have some background noise, so
I will go take care of that background noise because I can go close that room.
okay.
Hold up.
I just sent you the link to your text. You want me to send it to your email?
The link to what?
It's 5. Well, it started at 5. You want me to send you the link now?
The link to what?
Not to you. To your text or to your... Okay. I just sent it to your text.
Oh,
I'm a little tired, so I'm not going to be
you texted me the statute number?
No. No, I don't know this text. I
Oh.
didn't even know we were going to talk about this tonight.
We don't have to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, we do. We're
Now.
gonna talk about it.
I gotta find the statute then.
Find it. Candace is coming on now. We can start with the collections 40% situation. So while
Who's
you
coming
find that,
on?
Candy,
Okay.
and I got something for you.
Is it from Kevin Beckner? I told you I went and talked to Kevin Beckner. Oh, sweet Caroline. Hey, the COVID man, no touching me, touching you.
That's true.
I can't begin to know him.
Okay, that was for you. Okay, so I'm waiting for Candace to jump on so she could talk about the 40% thing. I'm not even gonna talk about it. That's how tired I am. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm tired. I don't know that we can do this every day like I thought I could do this every day. Every day, I don't think I could do it every day.
Katie, you're talking to me, man. I was at the Pet
I,
Resource Center at 8 a.m. I stood in front of Bloomingdale Library
you
from
said pet.
10 to 12. I jumped in my car and appeared in court from
I know.
campaigning.
I know. I'm
Then
tired.
I went. I've been back to PRC. I picked up 16 kittens today for my rescue.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm doing this with you now. My husband and my kid are hiding. And at 7 o'clock, I'm going to PetSmart to do an adoption. Trust me, I need this election over. It's exhausting.
You are a good friend. You're a good friend, Wendy.
I'm a good, well, it's more than a good friend. It's I believe in my candidate. You know,
Okay,
there's a forum going on, so that's why I don't think
I'm gonna help you research because I don't want to be here all night. So let me see. Hold on, and I'm waiting for Candy to jump on. And for those of that, there's one person viewing now, but one person is enough. And there was 3 a second ago, and they jumped off probably because we're not incredibly entertaining at this moment or informative because we're doing research. I didn't know we were gonna talk about this. If you would have given
Again, I just got it.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see. So is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
I think it's a misdemeanor.
Okay, I'll find it.
But it's wrong. And not only is it wrong, this campaign has already been told you can't do this. They had it on their website. They were sent the statute and said, hey, by the way, you can't do this. So they took it down. And now they've sent out an advertisement with it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't put it on your website. You can't use it in a flyer. You can't put it on Facebook.
Okay, so you're saying the seal of Florida.
You're not allowed to use it in political advertising. But I want to find this. Let's see.
I'm sorry, folks. Whoever's tuning in, we're here doodling, doing what we should have done before we got on. But sorry. Seal of Florida. Political advertisements. Or campaign ads.
Yeah, there you go. Campaign ads.
Okay, I found something. Okay, so this is in the ledger.
No, I saw that. I was actually looking for the statute. I read the article. It doesn't give you the statute number. It says you can no longer do it, though. And that's from what year?
2012.
Yeah, 2012. So they changed it in 2012, and those people had to change their advertising.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, here, I found something else. Should we play Sweet Caroline? Well, then just tell us what happened.
I don't want to give that party or that political candidate any more time. The bottom line is you're not supposed to use the Florida seal, the state seal. Okay, this kitten is so annoying. I look at him. Haiti, look, I cannot wait for him to get adopted on Saturday. This is Mello. He
Oh,
got
how
Betty Page.
adorable!
He's jumped in my lap 3 times. I want him
Oh my
out of
god, let me see. Let me see. No, 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 no,
No, I put
no,
him
no.
down.
Put him back
Oh,
in.
don't
No,
worry.
put him. I want to
He'll be
see
back.
him.
He'll be back. He's jumped in
Okay,
my
Florida's ban on using the state seal in election campaigns has caused two local candidates to change their campaign literature. Florida's ban on using the state seal in election campaigns has caused two. Okay, last week in a response to an inquiry from the Ledger, an official with Florida Department of State said use of the state seal of Florida is not permitted without express approval of the Florida Secretary of State. What if they have express approval?
But keep reading. They never give permission in a campaign ad.
And that permission is never granted for use in. Okay. Auburndale Mayor Jack Myers had used the seal surrounded by a garland. But you know what? He's not the only one, okay? He's not the only one. I don't
Really?
think. I saw somebody the other day, yeah.
Check carefully because it can be the county. This is the
Okay.
Florida
All right,
state
that's
seal.
fine. Yes.
Because you know Hillsborough County has a seal.
Oh, wait. So maybe Candace knows. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you know what? Janine is researching now. There's a campaign mailer with the seal of Florida. She says that that's a no-no legally.
Behind the candidate is the Florida seal,
Oh,
and they're not allowed to do that.
yeah,
And I-
because it creates
and I know that-
legitimacy. Like, gives them some type of, it's kind of like a bowstring, I think.
Alyssa Katz. You know Alyssa Katz, don't you?
I know we worked at the public defender's
That's right.
office.
That's
I
right.
know.
Hey, Alyssa. She likes the Florida You Judge, the broadcast that we've been doing. She's
She
been
thinks we're
entertained.
entertaining. Alyssa, you're a lawyer. Get up and research for us and send me the statute number that says you can't. I'm telling you, I know I can get it because
Alyssa, do you know what the statute is?
Is it
There
for
is a statute.
candidates?
that you're not allowed to use the Florida state seal in a political
Okay.
advertisement.
So it looks like it says, so Florida's ban on using the state seal in election campaigns has caused two local candidates to change their campaign
No,
literature.
yeah, no, we already know
That's
about
from
that.
the letter in 2012. We need the actual statute number. I think it's a misdemeanor.
You don't know that for sure, though, right?
No, but I think it is a misdemeanor. And we've already sent, okay, so this candidate has previously used the
I think
state-
I found it. I found it.
What is it? What's the number?
Hold on. Let me just check.
Okay, anyway, this candidate previously used the state seal. We sent a very nice email over saying, by the way, you can't use the Florida state seal. Here's the statute. Oh, they asked us for the statute number. We provided it, and then they took it down. It was on his website.
Okay.
And now they put the state seal in an advertisement that I don't know if they sent it to 5 people or 5,000. They probably sent it to everybody in Hillsborough County who's registered to vote. Using the state seal, which you're not allowed to. Did you find the
So
statute?
I see
I'm
where it was
looking.
a proposed statute. I can see that. So let's see when it became in 2006. Looks like where the final came out. And let's see the actual statute. Interesting.
I think if you're running for election or re-election,
Who sent the email to them for them when they asked for the statute?
Wendy DePaul.
Well, could you ask her?
She's at that political forum that they're all at tonight.
Oh, did you get the email sent to you?
From you?
No, from Wendy.
I think you're is she breaking up for you?
Me?
Haiti sounds like she's breaking up. Is that me?
No, that's. You can't hear me?
It sounds like you're a little jumpy.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, Jane?
I can hear you just fine. I'm
I
not,
know.
Okay.
So it's your end, Colucci.
Maybe so. Weird. Okay. Regardless, we know it's.
Yeah, I know we really can't really meaningfully talk about something when we don't really have anything in front of us. Because we could start saying things that are not accurate.
No, and I want to be very accurate. I just
Right.
know because I know the email was sent saying you can't do this. They asked what statute it was, sent it back. It was removed from the website, and now it's in an advertisement. And I don't want to,
It's a Florida administrative. It's a Florida administrative rule.
Oh, you found it, Kaluchi?
Yeah, it's a Florida administrative rule.
Okay, what is it?
One dash 2.0021.
Wait, 1 dash
2.0021. And it's use of the seal of the state of Florida. No person without express written authorization from the department shall manufacture, use, display, or otherwise employ a fax or reproduction of the Great Seal of the state of Florida, except as provided in this rule. Yeah, that's where it is. So that the following words shall have the following meanings for their purpose: political campaign. So let's see where it says campaign. Where it talks about campaign. So it must be somewhere else in here.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay,
But that's the statute.
Yeah,
It's an administrative rule.
So what happens if you do it?
Who knows? Approval shall be. I don't even see any violations in here.
Okay, so then.
See what even a violation would be. Define, may use and display the Great Seal in connection with the Great Business, official business, with application from the state, when specific written approval for use of the Great Seal has been granted. Yep, I do not see.
I'll find it. Let's see.
Anything.
No, I have it here. I have it here. I'm emailing it to you right now, Janine. I'm emailing it to you right now.
The admin code or the statute?
Do you recall when you all sent that campaign an email, whether it was a statute or administrative code?
I think it was a statute, but I'm pretty sure it's a misdemeanor. So I'm looking for the misdemeanor.
Well, it should have had it in here if that was going to result in any type of criminal penalties. Yeah. It doesn't, from the code that I just read would not have any criminal penalties, and doesn't look like attached to it.
Right.
All right, so I gotta find it.
And I don't
Look.
see a statute. But regardless. Learn something every day. Look at that.
You're good, Kidlucci. Okay, so
Why don't you guys talk about the topic that we really want to talk about while I'm looking
right
for
here.
this?
Okay, so Florida statute 15.03 state seal. That's
Wait.
probably where's that. And then the Department of State shall be authorized to affix the seal to any document for the purpose of attesting to, certifying, or otherwise formalizing such document. Any fax or reproduction of the Great Seal shall be manufactured, used, displayed, or otherwise employed by anyone only upon the approval of the Department of State. The Department of State may grant a certificate of approval upon application to it by any person showing good cause for the use of the seal for a proper purpose. The Department of State may adopt reasonable rules for the manufacture or use of the Great Seal. Any person violating of the provisions of this subsection is guilty of a misdemeanor of the second degree.
Thank you.
okay, so
Thank you.
what's this? That virtual high five.
Oh,
Virtual
yeah,
high five.
high-fiving you. Okay,
So-
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
no, but here's the thing,
Go
right?
defend us. Bond
Right.
us out.
No,
Bond us out.
if what we have is that he doesn't have permission,
Yeah.
is it a second-degree misdemeanor for
What's the
every
statute,
male
Kaluchi?
second account?
It's a
What's the
second degree.
statute again?
The
What's
statute is 15.03. Get into those.
Oh no.
Get into those early statutes from
So it's
1845.
the statute is 15 what?
15.03.
15
Mm-hmm.
point. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Give me
All
a
right.
second.
Question is-
Executive branch, Secretary of State.
If he did not have the Secretary of State's express permission, can it be stacked? And it's a second-degree misdemeanor for each mailer he sent out. Since we
Oh,
have,
you're scaring me, Janine. You're being more of a prosecutor than a defense attorney, as you typically are.
he was given
kidding.
all this
I'm
information
kidding.
in writing
I'm
and
kidding.
changed his campaign previously.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Mhm.
This is a big mailer. I don't think it's going to make a difference on the vote personally, but it's not right.
It's a
Everyone else
it's
is
a
supposed to
misdemeanor.
follow the
No,
law.
it could.
Everybody else is supposed to follow the law. I don't know why a sitting judge wouldn't have to follow the law like everybody else. He is
Okay, so
not
I'm gonna
above the law.
contact somebody from this campaign
Yeah.
right now while you guys are talking. Start talking about the 40% thing. Let
So-
me contact the
You go
other
first.
side so that there's due process. I want due process and fairness. I'm gonna contact them and give them an opportunity.
Okay, so this
to
is the
respond.
kind of stuff that I think is so awesome to inform people of. Are these little nice little laws that most people are uninformed about? So that's just interesting. I wouldn't have thought twice to have taken the state seal and to put it on stuff and like, oh yeah, well, I want to represent my state. So to think that unless you get approval from the
Just-
state to use the seal in a document or to reproduce the seal anyway, have now committed a crime.
Janine is a good person to have on your campaign.
It's crazy.
Are you
They
running
better-
for something? Chris?
No, I'm not. I'm,
Oh,
no, I'm
she's
just
like-
saying in general.
Hey.
I can't even do it. I
Katie.
can't even do it on
Katie,
a
as
regular
promised,
show.
are you looking?
Look
Oh
at
my
that,
gosh.
Lucci. Oh
It's
my
amazing.
word.
I run an animal rescue in Hillsborough County besides practicing full-time and working on Wendy's campaign and raising a 7-year-old.
Oh, how cute.
Just got vetted today. So he's not happy.
Little kitty cat rescue.
All right,
That's
go,
amazing.
okay. Go ahead and talk about it, but just continue on that thread, Lucci, how informative it is. It is. You wouldn't have known this.
I know.
Janine.
I'm just saying I would have never thought. So it's literally saying that any reproduction of the seal, be it manufactured, used, display, or otherwise employed by anyone only upon the approval of the Department of the State.
Right, because it gives an unfair advantage.
It
It
does.
looks
Bowstring. Yeah.
Florida State is somehow supporting you in this political campaign.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea behind it, but not everyone would have thought that. Like I wouldn't have. I understand the whole bowstring thing. As a trial litigator, we think about those things, right? Those things are always looking like, what are you doing to get an unfair advantage, and manipulating the document, the evidence for more than it's worth. So it's like that.
But okay, does
bowstring.
it make a difference? Hello?
Yes.
Hello. Does it make a difference that it's a seal behind him as a judge on the bench?
No, he's specifically not allowed to use the Florida State seal. It doesn't make a difference who you are unless you have permission. So you're asking his campaign, did they get permission to use the Florida State seal in their advertisement? And you'd like to see it because they don't have permission because as you read in the ledger, they wrote they're not going to give anybody permission to use the Florida State seal in political advertisements.
I would say, as an attorney, and this is the first time me seeing this statute, if you gave me 4 hours with this and I could answer every single question to tell you how we could potentially not run afoul of it and what are the possible defenses to it, because it could be. So 3 could technically be, the way the statute is written, as we've learned as attorneys, is it's very much attention to detail, to the commas, to the ands. And so I would say that subsection 3 of this statute, there may be a potential way out of it if it's, because I think the intent of this portion of the statute, I think, was supposed to be only the Department of State shall be authorized to affix the seal to any document for the purpose of attesting, certifying, or otherwise formalizing such document, period. Then it goes on to say any facts or reproduction of the Great Seal shall be manufactured, used, displayed, or otherwise employed only upon approval of the Department of State. So it's all within that subsection 3, right? But there's 2 separate sentences. So one can argue that subsection 3 is only about affixing the seal to a document. And
Okay.
then it continues to explain what happens if you're attesting it to a document. So maybe there's a defense there if it is being hung in the background and not actually being used or reproduced. The picture is
Are you,
being reproduced.
are you presenting a defense, Colucci?
Yeah, I'm devil's advocate always. You got to know both sides. You can only know your side well.
That's why we roll together.
You have to know the other side better than you know your side. Always, always, always.
So that's well. You did this. Janine did the same thing to me twice yesterday.
Yeah.
I was all like, and she's like, "Wait, wait." Could have
Mhm.
been that she was raising defenses yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's
but
good.
do you agree that the sentence that says the Department of State may grant a certificate of approval upon application shows for a proper purpose that the person has to get permission?
Yes. So that, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying is that there's a level of interpretation there that it may all still be under subsection 3, which the subject of subsection 3 is when you're actually using the seal and putting it on a document.
But this isn't putting in a document. This is actually
That's what I'm
using
saying. So he may so
a
arguably that
reproduction.
could be the escape for him is that he's not actually affixing it to anything. It's literally on the wall behind him in a room that it was authorized to use that seal.
Go
And
to
he's
sec-
reproducing that.
Go to your second sentence. Any reproduction of the Great Shield shall be displayed. That's what he did here.
No, yeah, but he's not. So that's almost like it's almost like evidence upon. Remember hearsay upon hearsay. That's almost like what it would be. It would almost be like he's reproducing the image of it, but the actual affixed seal is on the wall, which that had authorization because it's inside his judgment.
Right.
So it's almost not. That's a good question. I'm saying, listen,
It's not. Well, you know what? We're gonna find out because,
We will.
like I said, we already told the other side, hey, and they asked for the statute and we gave it to them and they took it down.
Oh, I wouldn't risk it.
But then maybe somebody jumped in and said, "Wait, no, you're wrong in that analysis."
Yeah, I think.
And then they
sent
did
out a
180.
mailer,
Yeah.
and then, all right, well, you asked their campaign. Let's see what they say. But I'm gonna take it further the other way, and we'll see how it goes.
If I was on their campaign, I would err on the side of not even wanting to chance it because it's on its face. I would say yes, you're probably running afoul of this law. But
And his
I
campaign
can
is
see the argument.
entirely made up of lawyers.
Oh yeah, I see. I wouldn't risk it, but I can see the arguments for why maybe someone could confidently try to think that it's only if you're stamping things with it, putting it like on, you're taking the picture and reproducing it onto things. I would say.
I think the second sentence, it's a reproduction and it's being displayed. Right?
Which part of the statute? Hold on. Which part of the statute, Janine, are you like you
I'm
saying?
looking at subsection 3, the second sentence. It says any facsimile or reproduction. So take out facsimile. Any reproduction of the Great Seal shall be manufactured, used, displayed, or otherwise employed. So a reproduction being displayed by anyone only upon the approval of the Department of State.
I agree with Janine.
No, I know, but I'm telling you that how statutes are supposed to be read when they're subsectioned out is that a subsection 3 is supposed to be everything that follows that subsection is all in conjunction with every sentence that's written before it. That's why they subsection it out. So arguably, if you're talking about, like, let's say we were really writing a motion here for this, the motion argument could be along the lines of subsection 3, the idea of subsection 3 is in connection to when you affix it to a seal or a document. So the second sentence of any facts or reproduction would still be in connection of when you have affixed a seal to a document. And then you reproduce it or fax it. So that just goes on to explain the first sentence.
Okay, what's the difference between the state seal and the 13th Judicial Circuit seal, which appears on a judge's wall and or website? Big difference.
That could be a difference. I mean,
if that's the 13th Circuit seal, then there's not a problem. And that's probably what that is behind him. The 13th.
Yeah, because this is specific to
the state seal.
It's the Great Seal of the state of Florida. That
you see where it says it's the Great Seal of the state of Florida?
Where? I don't see that. Oh,
well, that's where it defines what it is.
State of Florida.
The Great Seal
Yeah, but it says 13th.
I don't know. Maybe we need to see if this is the.
It
if
says
this-
13th. Oh, above it though. 13th.
I know, but it's the bottom part, and it's that picture that is the state seal. It's the state seal that hangs above the judges in the courtroom. The fact that the top changes depending on where you are, you're thinking that's the 13th Judicial Circuit seal? I said it earlier, but I don't know that they have their own state seal.
Well, I don't think they would have a state seal. They would have their own circuit.
It says the 13th Circuit on top, and then it says State of Florida. 13th Circuit, State of Florida. But the seal.
On the top, but the state of Florida is on the
I
bottom.
understand, but it's not the exact same seal. It's
Yes,
13th.
it's food. It's,
So it's a
food for thought.
variation. It's a variation.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think you would almost find yourself in potentially other issues because they don't want you doing all this. I don't think they want you editing it either. I would say.
Okay, so are we done with that? Because this is gonna take litigation, decisions, a hearing, right, Kalushi?
Yes.
Motions. I mean, yeah, this is clear cut. This isn't clear cut. I don't even know whether it's worth the trouble, at this juncture.
I think it's good information. It's good to know.
Of course,
I think
yes, it is.
On
I
its face,
agree.
I would 100%. I would be the same thing Janine is thinking.
Of course, of course. Of course.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Okay, so now let's go to the 40%. And I'm gonna, because I'm a little tired, I'm gonna let Candy,
Oh my
Candice,
God.
you're gonna chair this hearing because I was a little fired up yesterday, and I'm now coming down, and I'm exhausted. I'm coming down from that fieriness of yesterday, and I want to remain positive. I want to stay positive.
You want to stay positive.
Well, listen. Sometimes people, unfortunately, when you have to have a tough, hard conversation, it's not necessarily that's not negative. It can perceive it as that's negative. But
Okay,
it's not.
so
But I
since-
want to remain positive.
Okay, well, why don't
Generally,
you give us those background facts? I know you worked hard on this one, and then I'll take it from there.
There's
Give us the setup.
the setup is I raised this issue in 2018, and somebody contacted me. Hold on a second, and let me send her the link because I forgot all about her, and I don't want her to be offended. So let me send her the link. I'm sending the link to the person that called me one day and said had one of these letters from the collection agency, and their license was suspended. And by the way, I have a picture of the pro bono thing. Like, you'll see how many people were in this room. But I looked at it, and then if I'm looking at it to try to get somebody's license back, because that was the main thing.
That's what sparked you looking into it.
Yeah, in 2018, yes. And so when I looked at that and I saw it was 40% collection fee, I thought, oh my word.
Haiti, I got to tell you, your mic or something's going on there. I don't know if Candace hears it.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was coming in.
You're
and out.
wobbly.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me see something. Let me try to fix it. Hold on. Hold on. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's probably it. I don't know. I have to just stay kind of close to the mic. Just said it from very...
It's so bad.
Now you're frozen in your
Okay,
bag.
so we're referring to Florida Statute 28.246, right?
Yes.
Haiti. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that statute is it's titled the payment of court related fines or other monetary penalties, fees, charges, and costs, partial payments, distribution of funds. And so subsection, the issue that had been raised was in subsection 6. It speaks to the fact about a collection fee and what the clerk of the court is authorized to allow within the process of the collection fee. So once someone doesn't pay a court cost, after 90 days, it goes into collections, which is a common concept that most of us know. And it's not uncommon that obviously there's always some kind of relationship between the company that's utilizing the collection company. So what is the relationship between the two monetarily? How is this collection company making any money? So what this statute speaks to specifically is it talks about that the clerk of the court shall pursue the collection of any fees, service charges, fines, or court costs, or liens for the payment of attorney's fees and costs which remain unpaid after 90 days by referring the count to a private attorney who is a member of a good standing with the Florida Bar or a collection agent who is registered in good standing pursuant to another statute. So in pursuing the collection of such unpaid financial obligation through the attorney or collection agent, the clerk of court must have attempted to collect the unpaid amount through a collection court, collections docket, or other collection process, if any are established by the court, and find this to be the cost effective and follow any applicable procurement practices. The collection fee, including any reasonable attorney's fees paid to an attorney or collection agent retained by the clerk. So here's where the issue becomes. So the collection fee, so the fee that this collection company or this private attorney can charge to now the person who has this debt with the clerk of the court, it shall not exceed 40% of the amount owed at the time the account is referred to the attorney or agent for collections. So this is what had sparked it for Haiti. That's always interesting to me. Is like, I always think it's crazy is that most people have no idea what laws exist. They have no idea what's happening until something sparks them. And then, like, I always call it the cold case. I'm like, I always think about, there's always a cold case somewhere that some investigator, somebody is like, I've been working this case for 50 years, and then one thing comes up. So that's always how Haiti's mind always reminds me of, like, the cold case. She's the investigator you hope retires and forgets that you exist. So with Haiti, when she was looking back on these court costs, which a lot of us as attorneys we have to deal with our clients who want certain rights restored, or they want their driver's license. There's a lot of things that are impeded when they have these court costs. Sometimes they can't get off probation. So she recognized that these court costs were now having this 40% added from a collection agency. And that sparked it, lit that bulb in Haiti's mind to start doing some more investigation work to figure out, it seems pretty insane because ideally, someone who cannot pay their court costs in 90 days is probably not in a financial situation to pay almost 50% of it to a collection agency. And I will tell you that, and Haiti will give you a little more information about what she was looking into. But my question that I had, and I had posed to some people, and the answers I got back so far, and I wouldn't say I've done a thorough investigation, but I was posing this question was, when this collection agency comes into play and they're going to charge 40%, which, mind you, is the statutory max. So for me, I find that a little bit like kind of shocking because I'm thinking, if you're a government entity, a city entity, whatever it is, and you're bidding something out, you get the kind of pick of the litter. You're like, hey, listen, this is almost a sure thing for you. Why don't our statutory max is 40%? Why don't you charge 30? Why don't you charge 25 or something? So I was questioning about what is that percentage? What is the value of work that's being done in return for that 40%? So are they calling for us, my defendants, or are they calling them all the time? Are they chasing them down? Do they do a background search? Do they try to levy anything? Are they actually doing something in response or as compensation for the 40% they're getting? So that was one of the questions I had. But Haiti had even more questions because she started digging a little bit deeper and found some more interesting stuff that kind of shocked her to where she started asking more questions. So, Haiti, do you want to let us know what you found? Or
I do want to hear what Haiti said, but I got to tell you this really quick. When Haiti first told me this, I was she was wrong. She wasn't looking at it correctly, and that it was the collection agency could keep 40% of what they
Okay.
collected.
Yes. Okay. Yes. 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 That's how some of them are. Yeah.
That's how
some of them are.
that's how a lot of collection agencies work.
Yes.
The fact that this
Yeah.
is statutory, and I have a position, that's a little different than everybody. The 40%, up to 40%, includes attorney's fees in that. So, and they are using attorneys for it. But does anybody know if it's one agency or is it open to any agency?
It has to be an agency that's it's pursuant to Chapter 559.
Does it have to be the one agency that's under contract with the state, or can they have multiple agencies trying to do this?
Well, let's see.
You know what? Why don't we talk about what they need to attempt to do first before they even get a private attorney or a collection agent? There's the wording in the statute is they have to see about a collections docket.
There is a collections docket, I heard.
But it also says if any
Where?
is established
Where?
by the court.
Where?
Says if any. Oh, she's saying where's the collection?
Yeah.
Oh,
docket?
I don't know. I just heard about it. So
Where did you hear that from?
Kevin Beckner.
That's odd. He gave. That's odd. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of
Oh,
that? Have you heard of?
let me tell you something. He's got issues with this. He absolutely had
No,
issues.
I understand. I've never heard of a collections docket. Have you, Colucci?
I hadn't. I literally am looking at it right now. I haven't heard of it. I don't. What does that mean? Like they call everybody in and they call the clients in for.
They go through to make a finding as to whether or not the person can afford to pay their fines or fees.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
What would that? Well, I mean, oh no, but I mean, I've had hearings, but those are just like self-imposed about, when I'm trying to get a reduction and like that. Then we talk about if they actually have the
Right.
ability. It's almost like child support. Do you have
Right,
the
or an
ability
early
to pay?
termination of probation. You want everything
Yeah.
converted to a lien because my client can't pay it.
So, but there's no like going collection docket that happens with everybody who's in a collection status. Because I would guess what they would do is they would bring them all in and say, hey, you have a collection. What's your ability to pay? Can we put you on a payment plan? Can we do X, Y, and Z before we send you to collection agency? That's what it sounds like to me. I don't
think that's the way that it works. The way that it worked in 2018, I was going to show a picture of the room filled with African Americans, male and female, mostly male, where we were going to serve them pro bono to get their life. I was going to show a picture, but I opted not to because there's faces there and maybe people don't really want to be part of that whole situation.
Oh, here
Of having their faces displayed during a broadcast that then will later stay on social media. So I'm not going to show it, but it was a packed room. Take my word for it. It was packed wall to wall, the whole room in a library that was reserved in Tampa. And the way that it worked, they found out because they wanted their license. They called, and then Lineberger is one of them, one of the collection agencies, and then the other one's in Texas, I believe, and the other one's in Pennsylvania.
It says there's 2 collection agencies currently being utilized in Hillsborough County. This is on Pat Frank's website, but they list 3: Lineberger, they list Penn Credit, and they list Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins. They list 3. And it says the clerk's office is currently using 2 collection agents in the
It's Lineberger, and the other one is Penn something.
And then the third one is Purdue.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about Purdue.
There's 3 listed.
But in any event, the way it works, 90 days, they're late, then boom, it goes to them. I've never heard of any collections docket, and I asked that question to the clerk, and I asked what was the procedure, the practice collection before going to a agent.
You're breaking up, Haiti.
Because I'm away from the mic. Hold on. So I can't find the thing now. Oh, hold on. Here it is. I got it. So it says.
Well, and I think isn't this so? My other issue is okay. So this is obviously one of the barriers for a felon to have his voting rights restored.
I imagine that there's some people right now that need to pay a fine where they probably have that 40% clump on top. this is what I wanted to ask Colucci. In pursuing the collection of such unpaid financial obligations through a private attorney or collection agent, the clerk of the court must have attempted to collect the unpaid amount through a collection court, collections docket, or other collections process, if any, established by the court, find this to be cost effective and follow any applicable procurement practices. You read that already. I don't see where that was done.
Well, the problem with that, Haiti, is that it says if any is established by the court. So if the court hasn't established one, which we've all stated that we don't know of it existing, then that seems like it would be their escape. Is that it has to be one that has been established
Okay,
by
so
the
the court systems need to every citizen resident in Florida that where this matters to them because it's gonna affect them one day, a loved one, somebody, a poor soul that is financially strapped. They're not gonna be able to pay within the 90 days, much less probably when 40% or even when they do get financially on track. Then you have 40% on top of what you owe. Come on. Come on. So if there's a mechanism that the statute allows to for each county to create, right, that's cost effective and that's not so burdensome like this, like having to then choose a private attorney or a collection agent. And even if you have to do that for the counties that don't have anything in place, like a collections court or docket, then like you said, Colucci, you can negotiate something less than 40%.
that's I mean That's what I that's what I would imagine. I would imagine that that would be the intent. And then I can't say it's cost effective or not because I don't know what these attorneys do. Are they like when you owe a regular, if you owe T-Mobile a bill, they're going to call you like every other day. So it's like but then still when you're like you owe them, like let's say you owe them $500, the debt's been sold. Ideally, the debt has been sold to this collection agency and they're going to get a percentage. They've paid pennies on the dollar for it. So that's why you can always negotiate with them and pay much less than what the debt is. And then you have to worry about credit issues. And so that's why what Janine was saying is that normally when someone calls you from a collection agency, you can ideally think you're going to be able to negotiate with them. And I can imagine if they called you and they were like, well, you owed 1,000, but now you owe 1,400. So we're willing to take, $200 off and you're still paying more than you had before. So it just seems contrary to the concept of collection agencies, I would say, from what we normally think. Like this is 40% on top of it where you couldn't pay it anyways. And most of the time is they're not going to be able to pay anything more than it, but then it impedes a lot of obviously privileges and potentially connected to rights.
Right, because if it suspends your driver's license and you have to go to work, you drive with a suspended license and you get a couple of those, and all of a sudden now you got a felony.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
I'm very concerned about, and that's why I would like to know that answer. I would like to know what is it that that's 40% is a lot of money. I was laughing with Haiti. I said, are they looking for more attorneys? I'm like, because I'd like to know what they're actually having them do. Because if they're not doing anything but holding their rights and privileges hostage, and then saying, hey, you can pay us the rest of this fee we've imposed by just taking your file number and putting it into our system. Now you owe us the money. But if they're actually doing something like calling, figuring out if they have any assets to go after, I don't know,
Oh, I'm sure they're doing an assets check. They're doing a bank check. They're going to get liens if they can. There's an attorney involved. I'm not worried about that. Here's my thing. We got to do something. Something needs to change before it goes to collections to give the person who's this is against the opportunity to explain that they can't afford it or to go into a payment plan. Because you guys know, you're in front of a judge. You're dealing, especially in the criminal cases, you're dealing with jail time, probation. I got to do A, B, C, D, E. Fines and costs is the last thing we deal with, right? In any, especially guys going to, DOC or, trying to avoid DOC or county jail. They'll agree to anything, right, to avoid the time.
Oh, they never hear what the fees and costs are. They're like, blah, blah, blah. They're just like,
and in criminal courts, they just add the fees and costs and nobody says
no
anything
idea
about that.
I'm always like, I remember when I first started, I was thinking that. I was just like, I remember the very first time with Luke, when I was going over the fees and costs and I was just like trying to write them out. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what is this for? What is this for? And they're like, $25 an hour investigation fee for 2 officers and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? I was like, they didn't take a bunch of investigators that were working on this for hours. And I was just like, and I remember Luke being like, that's just what they do. They just pile on all these.
And yesterday, Janine, hello, you
Yes.
did say, Janine, that no, well, it's attorney season. You just repeated that today. It's the attorney season. And what are attorney like generating a form letter that's already that all you have to do is print it out and mail it out? That how much
Guys.
time does that work? Sweat? Does that take
I'm gonna
brain
say-
power?
The statute is set up. These collection agencies are entitled to charge this when the case gets turned over to them.
You're saying, but creating a system where, okay, so what we know as attorneys,
They
is
can
that
charge,
if
not
our client
40%. It
goes-
shouldn't be.
You have remedies to do, but you're talking about that there should be something actually mandated by that court that allows an actual organized process to happen before. So right now we tell our clients, if you can't pay your court costs, call the clerk and get on some kind of payment plan. Because
Do you
we're
really
telling
say that
them
to your clients?
Yeah, I tell them that all the time.
Does anybody else do that? You're the first lawyer I've ever heard say that. And I don't really do criminal anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But again, when I was dealing with people facing life in prison and we were getting probation, we weren't concerned about the cost.
No,
We were,
no kidding. No
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. I'm like, talk to him, figure it out. And if you really can't, then I cannot go back in. I've turned it around and turned it into a lien. So then they are able to get off probation, but definitely talking to the clerk of court. So I would say that most people, just like you said, are not informing their clients. And then most people are unrepresented and they're not getting informed at all. So maybe creating an actual process that brings them in before the court in one way or the other and says,
All right.
hey, here's what you owe. Here's what's going to happen. What can you do to satisfy this?
Okay, so we have 9 minutes left. I'm really tired. I'm gonna jump off, but
oh,
before I do,
let's
I did-
jump off.
I this is what I want to do to wrap up because we have 9 minutes left. I want to
Okay.
do a quick recap so that I don't have to take tons of time editing because this was all a little bit choppy because we started off with an issue. And I love you, Janine. I love you. So it's all cool. It's all good. All right.
No, I'm telling you, it's really choppy. You're not going to want to put this back up.
Yeah, Haiti, your
Yeah, it's bad.
sound is really all over the
I
place.
got to
So
take this call, guys. It's
Oh, yeah, so
legal
I think-
Zoom.
I
I've been
think
waiting
we-
for them all day.
we put the question out there. I think Haiti did a good job. Haiti, you want to just close it up?
No, wait, no, hold on. Let's. I don't understand why this is choppy now.
Yeah, it is.
This is so odd. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Everyone,
I have
just
no
stand
idea.
by.
Is it choppy now?
Yes.
Still? It's still
Yeah.
choppy?
Yeah. It's your connection, I think.
How about now?
It still is.
How
but
about now?
let's finish. It's okay. Let's go to commercial break. Do we have
No,
those
no,
yet?
no. I don't under. No. I wanna. Some people took time to issue responses, so I wanna read them.
Okay.
So, I don't understand what the heck is happening here. Let me do that last thing.
Okay.
It's just very odd to me. I'm gonna do. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but it's okay. Go ahead, Haiti. It's making a little noise. Now it's echoing. Okay, Haiti, let's figure it out. Let's just
Okay.
walk by.
Am I good now?
No. I feel like this is a skit. Like this is
I do too. Like, what's going on? Like, how could this be happening? Like, I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna send you a different link. Is that okay? Because I don't want to. I want to read these people's responses.
okay. All
Like,
right.
took some time. Okay, I'm gonna end this
Another-
podcast.
Okay. All right.
I'm ending this and I'll. Bye.
Okay. Bye.